Nice knowing you, Spider-Man.
Basically, everyone that knew that I was Spider-Man before should still know! I know, we suck. Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker.
The movie starts with the news, and we learn from the famous broadcaster Jameson that before Mysterio died, he left a video in which he said that Spider-Man attacked him, and that he has a huge army of the latest planes and weapons, and that he is the reason for the last attack that happened. And he also says that he knows his real strength, and that his name is Peter Parker. And this is the first time that the whole world finds out about Spider-Man. But they know him as a criminal and a villain, not a monster. So all the people start expelling him, and everyone who knows him after that. Peter arrives with MG, who is his Aunt May, and with her is her fiancé, Happy. So Peter starts closing the windows so that his aunt does not know what is happening outside, but he does not know he hides more than that because the TV shows police helicopters surrounding their house, and James appears on TV and confirms that Spider-Man is a criminal. Then he says anything to her, and that's it. After that, the police arrive at the house and take them all to investigate with them.
Here.
They also take his friend Ned and the girl that Peter loves, MJ, but after the investigation, the government is not able to prove anything against them. In the end, they get out of prison thanks to the lawyer Matt Murdock. Yes, Matt Murdock, who made the Daredevil series before, and we will talk about him very soon. Anyway, they return home with Matt, who tells them that the government will complete its investigation into the Starco Company, whose manager is Happy. Then he injures them and leaves. At night on the same day, Peter talks to MG, and they agree that they will go to school the next day to bring them and fill out the papers that they will apply to the MIT college that they want to enter. The next day, they go to school and agree that the whole city is marching behind them in demonstrations between supporters and opponents. The matter was very scary. Even their teachers at school were divided between supporters and opponents. So Peter decides to stop all this fuss and takes MG, and they go up to the roof of the school. After a while, they get an internet connection and start talking about how their lives will definitely change when they enter the university and the advantage. The big thing is that the university is in Boston, so it is far from all these events, and Peter can still be Spider-Man there because there are a lot of crimes that happen there. At that time, he can change people's opinion about him. So everyone gets excited and waits for the university application letters that will reach them. When they actually reach them after a few days, they agree to gather in one place and open the letters together. But when they open them, they are surprised that the three of them were rejected because they are Spider-Man's friends, and because Peter himself becomes Spider-Man. Peter is very annoyed and decides to go to Doctor Strange to help him. And when he goes there, he meets Wang, the wizard and Doctor Strange's friend. After a few, he meets Doctor Strange himself, and Peter tells him that his life as a colleague has been ruined. Because people knew he was Spider-Man, but they knew he was Spider-Man in the wrong way. Peter asks him to go back in time to prevent Mysterio from doing this and reveal his identity, but Doctor Strange is surprised when he tells him that they will not be able to do this because they no longer have the Time Stone. And of course, we know why. And if you don't know, then you haven't heard the rest of the videos with me, and the link to them is in the description. Auntie continues his speech and tells him that there is another plan, which is that they use the Oblivion spell, and the whole world will then forget who Peter Parker is. But Wang has to agree that they use the spell, and this is because the spell is very, very dangerous, because it links several realities together, and any mistake that happens could destroy the whole world because of it. So Wang agrees, but he tells them that he will not interfere and will stay out of the matter, and leaves them and walks. After that, Doctor Strange and Peter go to the place where they will use the spell.
You ready?
Doctor Strange begins to make the very difficult spell, by the way. Peter enters and says to him, "Excuse me, can we wait for MG from the spell?" He says to him, "Okay, I'll go." He says to him again, "Excuse me, is it possible again?" Aunt May says to him again, "Okay, I'll go." He says to him again, "Excuse me, is it possible again?" Happy says to him, "At this moment the spell breaks because of Peter's stupidity. But thank God Doctor Strange gives him control at the last moment and locks the spell completely inside a small box. He withdraws to Peter and tells him that he tried but didn't know how.
Yeah,
Try, Nito. Try to
just a
talk to
kid.
the university. Maybe they will change their mind and you will be able to enter the university." Peter says to him, "You've had an idea, bye." Peter goes out and calls someone. His friend was accepted into the university and asked him about the location of the university director, in order to try to talk to her and convince her to accept him or his friends. He knows that she is on her way to the airport because she is traveling, So Peter quickly manages to reach her and talk to her so that she will accept him and his friends without any fuss. But he does not complete his conversation with her because he senses danger and finds that the bridge they are standing on is a house called Two Halves, and Dr. Octavius appears, and of course he wants revenge on Spider-Man. But Peter does not know who he is or what he wants from him, so they start hitting each other until the director is about to die. But Peter catches her car at the last moment after Octavius grabs him and they take off the mask. Octavius is surprised when he finds that he is not the Peter Parker he wants. So Peter takes advantage of the situation and merges part of his suit made of nano with Octavius's armor and controls it, and is able to save the director using Octavius's armor. He knows that the matter is strange, but this really happened. Of course, after what happened, the director mediates with Peter and promises to discuss with the university administration and the rest of the directors to accept him and his friends. After Cap, Peter goes to talk to Octavius and asks him who you are and what you want. Meaning, while they are talking to each other, a bomb from the Green Goblin's bombs is dropped on them, and the Green Goblin appears as well. But before the Iraqis train between them, Peter finds himself transported once to Dr. Strange's lair, and Octavius is locked in one of Dr. Strange's cells. And Dr. Strange himself speaks and makes Peter understand what happened, and tells him that when they removed the spell, they opened portals to the multiverse. And instead of people forgetting who Peter Parker is, all the people from all the different universes who know who Peter Parker is came, and he knows how to catch another person who was in the form of a lizard, who came from another universe as well. And of course, we know that he is Dr. Connors. And if you don't know that this is Dr. Connors, then the meaning is the same as what you didn't hear. Anything from the Spider-Man movies, and you will also find their link in the description. After that, he was talking to Dr. Active-X and said to him, "Of course you know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Is the one in front of you the Peter Parker that you know?" But Active-X told him no, and that he did not know who this was at all. So they understood that Active-X actually came from another universe that also had Spider-Man, and his name was also Peter Parker, and so on. The same thing with Green Goblin and the Lizard. After that, Dr. Strange took out something like a gun and gave it to Peter and told him to go look for everyone who arrived from the universes. Another time, hit them with one shot from this gun, and they will reach me here immediately. When we gathered them, we sent each one to his own world. So Peter agreed and asked him to bring him MG and Nate to help him. He actually brought them to him, so Peter told them everything. And they started searching Nate for anything strange until they found news of the appearance of a person wearing a green suit and flying in the air. Activist told them before they left that this person is Dr. Norman, known as the Green Goblin. After that, Peter goes to the place where the Green Goblin is, but he does not find him there, but another person appears to him who came out of it. A very large electrical energy, and he is Max, who is famous for Electro, and he is finally Peter's form, but Flint or Sandman saves him because he thinks that this is the Spider-Man he knows. So Peter is able to hit Max with a shot to send him to Doctor Strange's hideout and takes Sandman with him as well. After that, we move to Norman, who is able to fight the demon controlling him and breaks his mask. As for Peter, he receives a call from his Aunt May, and she tells him that she is sitting with one of the villains who is looking for him. Peter runs quickly to catch up with her because he thinks that she is in danger. But when he arrives, he is surprised that she is sitting and talking very calmly with Norman. So Norman speaks and says, they think he's good inside, but many times he can't control his actions, and doesn't remember what he did after he does, something evil. So she sympathizes with May and tells Peter that they should treat these villains before sending them to their world. Peter hesitates a bit because her opinion is strange, but in the end he agrees and takes Norman, and they go to Doctor Strange's hideout, where Octavius speaks and tells them that Norman is supposed to have died, and that too many years ago, and it's impossible for him to still be alive. Then Sandman speaks and tells them that Octavius and Norman are both supposed to have died. So Peter understands that they all died in their world, and that even if they return them to their world, they will die again. Then Doctor Strange comes with a device that will return each one of them to his world. But Peter expels him and tells him that they must help them first before he returns them to their world. But Doctor Strange refuses, so Peter snatches the device from him so that he cannot return them, and runs away from him. So he runs after Doctor Strange, and a big battle breaks out between them, and Doctor Strange enters Peter into the world of mirrors so that he can defeat Basola, who controls every part of this world. But the world of mirrors is all made up of geometric shapes, and because Peter is very good at geometry, he was able to link Doctor Strange inside the mirror world and take the god from him and his ring and open a portal for himself and return again to the hideout. And there he tells his friends that they will treat these people first and return them back to their normal lives. And of course, everyone was a little afraid of this idea, but in the end they agreed, and he took them all and went with them to Happy's office, and as soon as they entered the house, Peter went with Dr. Norman, and they entered Happy's lab and started working on a treatment that would help Activus return to his normal life. And they also started to fix the chip on his neck so that he would be the one controlling the shields and the direct opposite, and they actually succeed. And Activus returns to his normal state and encourages the rest to actually do the same. After that, Peter takes a device and goes to put it on Max to absorb the excess energy he has, and they return to his normal state again. But suddenly Peter feels danger from Norman because he's suddenly transformed again and told everyone that they do not need his help and that they are not sick and do not need treatment. This encourages Max to keep his strength and actually removes the device that Peter put on him. Peter asks his aunt to move away from the place quickly, and actually she starts to escape, and the big battle begins between them all, and the result of this war is fading. The building is completely empty, and Max and Green Goblin, who
Norman was right.
escape before he walks and throws a bomb at his Uncle Peter. So Peter tries to catch it, but he can't. It hits his hand. Then Peter goes to talk to her, and he is very sad because she is dying. So she tells him not to be upset. You did the right thing, what was supposed to be done. And then she dies. After that, Happy comes and sees the house destroyed. And his fiancée Mai is dead, so he gets upset too, and the police arrive and he tells them through Peter that he should escape quickly before they arrest him. And Peter actually escapes and no one knows where he is because he is sad and he goes to a faraway place. After that, we move to Ned and Amy, who are very open about Peter, and by coincidence, Ned is wearing the ring that Peter took from Doctor Strange, so he wants to find Peter. And actually, by chance, a portal opens on Peter and Spider-Man comes. But when he knocks on the mask, it is not the Spider-Man they know, but it is Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. They discover then that they have actually brought Peter Parker, but from another parallel world. Ned tries again to bring the real Peter, their friend. So another portal actually opens, but Peter comes out of it. But it is still not the Peter they know, but Tobey Maguire's Peter from a third world. From here, in order not to get any confusion when we come to talk about Spider-Man, we will differentiate between us. We will say Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, and Peter Parker of our ordinary world. The important thing is that the two Spider-Mans start talking to each other and make sure that they are all really Spider-Man. When they are sure, Ned and MJ take them to the place they love Peter the most, and they actually find him sitting there and crying for his mistress, so they continue to talk to him and comfort him. And they tell him about everything that happened. And they also begin to introduce him to Spider-Man. Man, Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, and the two of them, Spider-Man, began to comfort Peter, telling him that they had also lost a lot of people they loved because of their work as Spider-Man, and that they would also help him so that they could return to the parallel universe. Again, they start working on a treatment for each person who Peter had captured before to treat them, and then they return to their world again. But not as villains. And during this talk, they kept talking more with each other and getting to know each other more. After that, Peter Parker appears on TV in the Jameson program, and it says that all the villains who arrived here from different worlds are getting a second chance, and that he will help them. And he also says that he could have destroyed the entire city if he wanted to from the beginning. But he chose a long time ago to help people, and that's it. Not to kill them. After that, they close with him, and the three Spider-Man go, I have the Statue of Liberty, which feels so it's a little while away from Captain America, and there they meet everyone. The first one of the villains, which is Max, and who is much stronger, because he was able to access a very large amount of energy from the city. And Dan and Seed as well, he does not want to be treated, and he grabs Peter Parker and is going to kill him. But Spider-Man Tobey comes and is able to give him treatment, and he returns to being a normal person again. And after that, he reaches the lizard, joins the battle, and begins attacking them with all his might. He also reaches Activus, but he is treated and remains well, and therefore he is currently with the three Spider-Man. He catches Max and succeeds in putting him in the device that will extract energy from him. And he actually succeeds in this, and the energy goes completely from Max. After that, the lizard takes a liking to Ned and MJ, and Ned tries to open many portals by using Doctor Strange's ring in order to escape him. But in the end, he does not know how to escape again, but it does not matter, because Peter Parker saves them, and I have a tender hand for the lizard, and he returns to normal again. After that, Ned opens a portal, and Doctor Strange comes in, who was trapped in the world of mirrors for a while. 12 hours later, Ned speaks, and he tells him that Peter's plan succeeded, and that they were able to swarm the villains. After that, Strange goes to Peter, and he is surprised when he sees Spider-Man, Underground, and Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire with him, and he tells him that this is dangerous, and it must. They all return to their own world so that nothing happens to the entire universe. But Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, feels danger, and suddenly Green Goblin appears and starts attacking everyone and aims a bomb at the device with Doctor Strange and blows up the whole place, and then his MG, and she was about to die, so Peter tried to save her, but he couldn't because the Green Goblin's latch hit him. And here the emotions of Spider-Man, Undertaker Field, work because he saw before Gwen, the girl he loved, die in front of his eyes, and he didn't want this to happen to Peter, so he actually runs to her and saves her at the last moment. And he cries because he remembers Gwen, whom he couldn't save. After that, Peter goes and starts hitting Osborn, and he wants to kill him in revenge because he killed his aunt. So he drops his sled, and he is about to kill him with it. But Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, comes and catches him before he kills him, and tells him that they are supposed to treat him, not kill him. But Norman grabs a knife and stabs Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, in the back with it. So Spider-Man, Androger, throws the serum to Peter to inject Norman with it, and they actually inject it so that Norman returns to his normal state again. And they go to Spider-Man, Tobey, and reassure him, and they find that he is fine, normal. Everyone was surprised when they found strange things happening in the sky. So Peter Lestrange would fly in to ask what was happening, and Strange would tell them that all the universes would interfere with each other, and that he did not know how to control them. So Peter would tell him that if they now defeated the spell of oblivion, and everyone forgot who he was, then balance would return again for all worlds, and all these problems would be solved. But Doctor Strange tells him that all the people you love and know will forget you, even me. But Peter is firm on his opinion, and tells him that he must do this, so that balance can be restored once again to the world. So Peter leaves and bids farewell to Spider-Man, Andrew, and Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, and they return again to their world, and the rest of the bad guys who are good now have returned to their senses. They too. After that, Peter goes to say goodbye to Ned and MJ and tells them on Doctor Strange's line. So, of course, he coughs a lot, and MJ tells him, telling her that he will meet her again and thinking about me, and he actually promises her and leaves them all and walks away. Doctor Strange actually activates the spell, and so the whole world forgets about Peter Parker. The next day, Peter goes to the place where MJ works, and there he finds her and Nate sitting. They talk, and he learns that they met at the university, and they became friends. And they know that he is not like that anymore because their life is nice and safe without him. But as for him, he goes to rent a place to live in and makes a suit for himself, because Stark Corporation no longer knows who he is, and therefore they will not want to make him any suit. So he starts flying with his new suit over buildings in the snow to try to live his new life after he decided to save the whole world and live alone, and no one remembers him. After that, Eddie Brock, or Venom, appears, and we discover that he is able to reach Peter's world, just as everyone reached Peter's world in the beginning. And this is what we saw, by the way, in the last shot in the Venom movie, which we made before, and whose name is Venom. Let's see Carnage. He is currently trying to understand where he is and how he got here, because he did not know that he came like the others, because of the spell that Doctor Strange Peter made, but unfortunately he does not know, because Doctor Strange was able at the time to return everyone to their world again. So he returned his entire world. But a small part of the Venom substance remained in Peter's world. After that, we move to Strange, who discovers that the whole world has become in a very big problem because of what he and Peter did. Thus, the universes can be said that they opened up to each other. And the movie ends. And that's it. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us in continuing to provide content, and activate the bell to receive everything new. Subscribe to our other channels for more fun, and see you soon, God willing, with a new summary of a new movie or a new series in Espresso. Bye.